Hello friends, please ignore both the sound of the fan in the background, it is currently hotter than devil's ass crack outside, and please ignore my laundry hanging to dry. Our dryer is broken, so we're doing things the historically accurate way. It's been a minute since you've seen my face, since this has been on camera, so hello. I think my last video I uploaded was in May, a few months ago. My last art video that I uploaded was in December, and that was of a painting that I had done at least a year prior. And the last sketchbook tour that I uploaded was over a year ago, probably close to 2, back in 2024. I think it's the end of 2024, so over a year and a half ago. Which means we're a little behind. We are going to be starting right back off of this guy here. You can see him make a little cameo at the end of my last sketchbook tour. I started it right then, 12/24, and then I finished it in April of 2025. I had to watch my last sketchbook tour in order to know what was in that book. I have no clue where that sketchbook is, but I really liked that sketchbook. I liked the look of it, and it was a very, like, emotional sketchbook for me. I was going through a really tough time when I was working in it, so I'm interested to go through these ones. At the end of my last sketchbook tour, I had just started watching Arcane, so there's a lot of Arcane in here. And then I think at the tail end of this one is about when I started playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time, and so there's more than likely some Baldur's Gate 3 in here. Let's get into it. Alright, here we are. So this is just a cheap mixed media sketchbook. I went into a little bit more detail in my last sketchbook tour of like where I get them and stuff. I really don't like working in expensive sketchbooks. They're a little bit too intimidating in the way that I work in them. This one, I believe, was probably around the $8 mark. So to start out, we have the mandatory self-portrait. I, for the last few years, have been starting every sketchbook with a portrait or a drawing of myself, just to kind of gauge where I am at the time. This one is very mixed media, very chaotic. The dogs, I went through a very heavy dog phase. I'm not sure if those are lyrics, but I know that these down here are lyrics. I'm testing the limits of what a mind can do. That is a 21 Pilots lyric. More 21 Pilots. This is another mixed media thing. This was for the song is Routines in the Night. I like to compulsively write lyrics to songs that I really like, and if I can do it in like a fun way, then that's always super fun. And so I kind of did this like maze situation in the background with the doors, and then just wrote all the lyrics in. Another dog, a borzoi. I love borzois. Here is where we start Arcane. We've got Victor. I used to cosplay. Not a lot, because cosplay is expensive and it takes a lot of time. It's a very arduous hobby. But I love to sew, and I love costuming. I love fashion design and that kind of thing. And I was and am still obsessed with the clothing in Arcane. I think the character design and the clothing design in Arcane is so cool, down to like crazy little details where like you wouldn't put that in unless you know textile work, and like it's in the difference between like how they animated like fabric choices and seam lines between like the Undercity and the Overcity it's so cool. It's so cool, and I love it. Will I ever actually make a cosplay of Victor? I don't know, probably not. But I love breaking down what would be the costume. Is really fun for me. It's a fun little activity. So we have some Silco. Again, breaking down like how the clothes work. Just really fun. This window, I'm obsessed with this window. More arcane. This, I was gonna try to do like a whole finished piece, but it just never ended up working out. The scene of Echo just absolutely lobbing Victor in the back of the head was so funny to me, and so I thought I'd draw it. Here's a thumbnail for that sketch. We have Echo, more Victor, some Pinterest images, except for this one. This is my cat. This is Rufus. I think I drew him first, and then I wanted to draw animals, and so I just kind of went on Pinterest and found pictures of animals to draw. More arcane. We've got Scar. Got Victor again. I think this one ended up on Instagram, so it's there. More arcane. One of the things I really want to get better at, especially like moving forward with my art, is drawing characters repetitively, like doing more of like a comic series, that kind of thing, where you're drawing the same character consistently in different environments and different actions and poses. I'm not great at it. I really need to find my style when it comes to drawing and simplifying faces and expressions and bodies and clothing, because I tend to go realistic, but that's not really feasible when you're wanting to do like a graphic novel or a comic series. You kind of want to simplify so that you can draw them easier and quicker. Another piece that was started and never finished. It's a good show. Watch it. My New Year's portrait. This was the end of 2024. I like to do a self-portrait or a drawing on New Year's every year. So this was this one. Some more Pinterest images. This is all character design. This is one of the things that I was saying. I want to get better at character design. I have several stories that I'm kind of working on at the moment. This is for like my big fantasy series, and then I've got another one that I'm working on, but I've been writing this novel for 2 years now, and I can't do anything like simply. I can't just sit down and write. I have to have the characters and the backstory. I need to know what they look like. I need to know what their world looks like. I have to know why their world is the way that it is, how it works, why does the magic work, where does it come from. It's like Tolkien level. Like, I understand why he has so much like information and lore, because I'm such a why person. I need to know why, and it has to make sense to me in order for me to like move forward and accept it. More character design, more book stuff. This is sort of an idea for a cover design. I like the idea of a very like graphic, not graphic like violent, but graphic like stylized deer on the cover. More lore. Another costume breakdown of Scar, all the different layers. Will I ever actually make this costume? More than likely not. But it was fun to break it down and try to understand how it works. Another gouache thing that I ended up doing mixed with colored pencils. This is Jaskier from The Witcher. Does it look like Jaskier? Absolutely not. This is not Joey Beatty's face, but, you know, sometimes you have good art days and sometimes you have bad art days, and this was not a great one. I think this was a wardrobe breakdown. We're gonna skip the next page because that's a therapy thing, so we'll move on. I was wondering what book this was in. Yes, this is when I really started trying to understand gouache, and so I did these little paintings of, I think these 3 were from Pinterest, and this is of Lestat's Harlequin costume in Interview with a Vampire. A costume that I do want to make. I really do want to make a version of that costume, whether it be screen accurate or like a flipped version, but I do want to make that. And then we have Lestat. I love Interview with a Vampire. I love the books. I love the movie, and I am absolutely obsessed with the series. I just finished watching The Vampire Lestat, and it was so good. In my current sketchbook I feel like that's how it's gonna be finished off. It's gonna be finished off with the Interview with a Vampire TV series. It's just so good. But I'm so happy with this. This is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done. I think it just turned out absolutely beautiful. This is my first gouache portrait that I really like feel like I understood what I was doing. And it feels very like old. Like it feels very like masterwork kind of inspired. I'd love to try and recreate this with a portrait of Louis on like in like a proper piece, not just a sketchbook piece. I think that would be really fun and really cool. So we have some cats, some over the garden wall, all the way back in February. In this house, it is always spooky season. Spooky season all the time. Skeletons in a tree, more over the garden wall. Ghost. This was when, around the time Skeleton was being released and they were announcing the new Papa. This was the first sort of image that we got of Papa 5. More Ghost. Some ideas for like monster taxidermy. More Ghost. Tobias Forge. Another cat. I want to make stickers, and that might have to be a sticker. More cats. These I think were from one Instagram post. It was a bunch of like distorted, edited pictures of black cats, and so they were all just really funny to me. This guy's my favorite. I'm covering up dead names, but we've got a nice pencil sketch here of a person. And then, yes, this is when I first started playing Baldur's Gate 3. And you can, if you can't tell who immediately my favorite character was, it was, in fact, the sassy vampire. Because if I have a type, I have a type. More Baldur's Gate 3. This was my first tab. His name was Glass. Owlbear Cub. More Mind Flare. This is all the Emperor. The Emperor's armor that you get, when you get to the city is my favorite armor in the game. My second run, we got Astarion. This was like me practicing to make the one that I did in my last art video. More Astarion. Raphael, again, another toxic, dramatic, theatrical character, and he's got horns, like, I eat that shit up, you know? Carnis. Carnis is probably my favorite character in the entire game. You only see him for a very short amount of time, but he has so much to him, and he's such a tragic character. And then the last page, we've got Dirge murdering Alfira. I don't know where I got these. I don't have them anymore. So this is a mystery to me. Alright, that's going to be it for that sketchbook. So make sure to come back next week to see this bad boy. Yeah, this is really fun for me to go through these books that I didn't even, like, I don't even really remember a lot of this stuff. A little walk down memory lane for the last couple of years. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like, interact with it, maybe comment what your favorite page was. I know there's a lot of very, like, just, like, boring sketchbook pages in here, but, you know. And if you want to see more from me, then go ahead and check out the rest of my channel. I will link the playlist of all of my art videos down below, and probably in an end card here. You're probably seeing it right now as I'm talking. And yeah, and subscribe. Subscribe, and there will be more. Because even if I disappear for a while, I always make content eventually. Anyway, stay safe out there, be kind to others, and I will see you soon.